Ultimate structure of proton. The interior structure of the Earth is layered on spherical shells, an outer crust, a mantle, and a core. But to tell the truth, the Earth is composed of 4 layers, if we consider the atmosphere as fourth, which is moreover the essential part for life on this planet. The Sun has 6 layers. The first 3 layers are the corona, the chromosphere, and the photosphere, including the Sun's atmosphere or the outer layer. The other 3 layers are the convective zone, the radiative zone, and the core, including the inner layers or the parts of the Sun that are not seen. The core contains 34% of the Sun's mass, but only 0.8% of its volume. The core also preserves the gassy bow and prevents the Sun from disintegrating. If we take a look at the proton, we see a Sun which is made of a large collection of photons, with the same density and compression. Therefore, the proton is the collection of compact photons. The structure of the proton is similar to a cherry or the Sun with 2 layers, the core and the mantle. The core, the region that is almost spherical, and its radius is about 1/3 of the entire proton's radius, but its density is about 15 times more than the mantle. The mantle, the area that is browny layer, which includes about 2/3 of the total radius and completely encircles the core by a much lower density than it. Remember that the core and the mantle are both made of photons, and the only difference is their density. Actually, the photons vibrate between the core and the mantle, and that's not how they don't have anything to do with each other. Scientific achievements show that the proton contains 2 up quarks and the down quarks. But how Saleh theory explains it? Up to the present day, to understand the proton's structure, scientists send 2 beams of isolated proton to collide each other. Then a particle detector is waiting to measure all the subatomic particles that erupt from the collisions. This method is similar to that of a certain researcher who doesn't know what an airplane is made of, but tries to understand its structure by observing the different parts of 2 collided airplanes. So he's going to say that an airplane is made of a fuselage, 2 wings, and some metal parts. This interpretation is correct, but it is at the same time partial because we don't consider what all these parts are really made of. But what really happens when 2 protons collide? Indeed, due to the severity of the collision, the mantle part splits into 2 large fragments and some tiny particles, but the smash is not enough to split the dense core. So the heavy dense particle, which is called down quarks, not anything other than the proton's core, and the other parts of the mantle that are larger, lighter, and less dense are not something other than photons and rays, those that are known, by the way, as the up quarks. That being said, Saleh theory believes that protons are made of photons and have 2 layers with different densities. The almost spherical core with a high density and the less dense mantle which completely encircles the core.